This is a Monday podcast. I was thinking, it's sort of like a lot of okay. So like with parent,
My eye's very itchy, and it sounds like you are struggling to say something.
it's like my brain is thinking probably 4 different thoughts at the same time, and
Let's
do you ever
start
say
let's
like?
start with one.
But do you ever like want to like? You're just like, I need to get all this out because if I don't say that, then I'm gonna forget the other thing. The other thing is important
say all
too.
4 things
At
and
the
I'll
same
see if I
time.
remember.
Blah.
Go ahead.
I just want to start it out easy. It's like, when parents, a parent-kid relationship where it's very, I'm the mom and you're the kid. I'm not saying authoritarian or authoritarian.
Yeah,
Like
just
like
they're a grown up and the kid's a kid.
yes.
Yeah.
And when that grown up tries to talk to the kid,
They don't listen.
or it's like you can just sense that it's like sometimes they seem a little bit desperate to connect with the kid the way that they're talking. It's just not natural.
Okay.
Okay. So, oh shit. Okay. Wait. So there's that part. Okay. There's those, and you know them, and you're just like, you see how they talk to their kids, and you're like, it doesn't feel completely natural. It's almost like
They're going through the motions.
they're going through motions. You know what else I find in those situations? I feel like it's that the grown-up forgets what it's like to be a kid.
Right. Or this is what I do.
Mm.
This is how I parent. I don't know how to
Also,
parent,
like,
but I'm going to say what I need
You know
to say.
how we talk about our childhood, and it's really fresh in our mind.
Yes, it's like
and the
yesterday.
things that we did, and the rebellion that we had, and the feelings like you and I are still very connected to being young. Like
Yeah.
we remember it. I feel like those people, it's like they've moved into being a grown up. They forget what it's like to have those feelings and feel that way.
Yeah.
That's number one. You also don't want to be like your kid's best. They say you don't want to be your kid's best friend. Honestly, I've seen parents be like on shows or interviewed, and they're like, we're best friends, and it works out great, and everything's working fine.
I think the key word there is you don't need them to be your best friend.
Mhm.
Like,
Oh yeah.
I think there's a difference.
Right. But so you see sometimes when they're like, oh my gosh, like we're like so close best friends. And
It's like when you're like, the boundaries crossed
Yeah.
because they need to know that they're cool and their kids. They need the approval of their kids like a friend rather than
but
a
that's
mom.
just yet another thing in parenting that I would find for someone who it doesn't like, doesn't all come naturally, to be like, wait, hold on. You said not to be friends with them, but I see that she's friends with her. Aren't you not supposed to? It could be confusing if it just doesn't come naturally. That I'm gonna land this plane. I'm gonna get to my point.
Number
So that's
3.
two. I was saying this one will be like about being honest, about people being honest about their past, being open about their experience. I'm not patting ourselves on the back. I just only know our experience, that we've been really open with our kids about our like how we were as students, what we were like at school.
They're probably like 80%.
I mean, my kids know that we skipped school and went to your house and smoked drugs.
Yeah, but there's more. I haven't read the books yet. I haven't read the bestsellers yet. Wait till that.
But
wait till that one.
As
till they get a hold of that one.
I mean, like as students.
Yes.
They know what the dads were like. They know what we were like, and we haven't tried to hide that. And I'm sure there's a lot of like parents that wouldn't want to share that with their kids because they don't want their kids to throw in their face, well, you didn't do it, and look at you.
Oh,
that.
yeah.
So I do think that it's a lot easier when the kids are having problems at school for me to just be able to be honest and say, I capped out at a certain level of traditional education.
Yeah, I pieced out.
Like I
can't help you any further. I didn't do grade 11, so we're done. But thanks for joining us.
Capped out at traditional education. There are things I know a lot about because they came interesting to me, but not because I learned them in school. And sorry, I would say I capped out earlier than grade 11 than I think you did too. I might have capped out at like, honestly, like, I don't know.
Grade 6.
There you go. Even if, okay? Yeah. So it makes it easy to be able to say, I'm sorry. And I know a lot of parents help their kids with their homework.
Okay.
And it's part of their job. Like, we got to study with the kid. I got to do the homework with the kid.
Okay.
And I think a lot of those.
I think you're very good at that, by the way. Way better than me.
Thank you. I like it when I like it. Because
I know.
Because I like to show them how to turn something that's complicated into something very basic.
You also like to get good grades.
I would like,
no, like when you do the project, what do we get?
I literally am like, what do we get on that?
Yeah, what do we get on that? I know. You're looking for it's kind of funny. I love it. I like that about you, that you're like, you literally have no shame. What do we get?
Yeah.
And not like, what did you get? What did we get?
I did really well on an art project once, and I did well on a
bunch of projects.
Fast fashion.
Yes. And another part you've done.
What's another one I just got
you did really well. I don't know. Like,
I'm doing a fucking book report now. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, you're doing a great job.
I love the book.
You were doing a great job.
There's a few things. Maybe there's been a few things, and if they're interesting to me, then I love to be able to show them. And part of that is also so that when I can't, I'm not saying I wouldn't try. I'll if I say I can't help you, I actually can't, because you've seen that if I can, I'll try.
Yeah. You're not going to go far. Like, you're not going to go Google things and pull up videos. You're not going to relearn with them.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
But that makes it really good that I'm honest, and I'm like, I'm here to help you when I can't, when it interests me. But otherwise, I have no idea. Whereas in our house, I'm not trying to call them out.
What did people do without the internet? How did people get help without you'd call your friend and do your homework with your friend and get the answer. Why don't they call each other? She needs to call people.
I have one son that is very good at calling people.
Yeah, just phone a friend. Mine is too. She's great. And the teachers, they are great at, actually, sorry, finish your fourth. You have
no, it was just along those lines. But I was going to say, I'm not to call anybody out, but in my house, my husband is a
non-helper.
And it's not,
he's a bystander.
He's a bystander. And
he doesn't call for help.
But the problem is, if they ask him, he speaks in too complex of a language. It's like he forgets what it's like to be a kid.
We just circled it back. Got it.
So
Mark's so good at, they all go to him for math.
Yes.
All of them. I would cry. I would cry with my dad if anyone tried to help me. Oh Lord,
no. So I think it's
I wanted to punch people in the face if they were trying to help me and my family. Punch them, but I didn't. But I was like, this is not working.
No, I just think, but it's really good when you're open and honest about your experience, because it lends a hand later when you're trying to justify yourself and the reasons that you do things. You know
exactly. You know your limitations,
and then they learn them as well.
You put a boundary in,
and they learn them as well.
Exactly, boundaries.
Don't
I hate that
ever
word.
look at me for math.
Don't ever look at me for math.
Math is so stupid.
Stupid.
I sound like my daughter. This is so stupid.
Stupid. I have a new philosophy. If you want to hear it, I'll lay it on you, which you know it is. I think that when you're stuck in learning, is that a joke? God, stop it. That's hilarious. When you're stuck in learning, I think it's about you got to stop with them and be like, okay, we have 4 paths here. Even if you have 2, 3, whatever, you can't walk too far down with them, because they'll take you on a hog wild chase. And I think you have to be number one, you tell me your four solutions to this problem right now, because I'm running, because we have lots of roadblocks in this household with learning. And sadly, or amazingly, I'm not sure which one, one of my kids' teachers in math is they do really well with peers and learning from peers and working together with peers. And it's super encouraged for the peer-to-peer learning. And that is a solution that the school is helping them learn, which is great. So call a friend, do the thing, get the thing. It's not cheating.
And it's also good that the school is teaching them how to do that, because in life, in jobs, you're going to have to turn to your colleagues and say, listen, this is a little out of my realm. Can I get some help? You obviously have more experience.
So I think that as parents, if we can just teach them the solutions to the learning, then I think you're so much better off, because they have to figure out how to learn when they can't figure it out. Because with so many solutions right now, like YouTube, ChatGPT, Chat AI. There's even DeepSeek Math. There are so many things. Are they always 100% correct? No, but
better than your mom.
And we only had a landline that you called someone possibly who picked up or didn't pick up.
I know where they did their research more than they do now.
Libraries?
Their textbooks.
Textbooks.
They don't rely on their textbooks.
So I think that as parents, we're all guilty of it, because we're in fast fashion. We're in fast parenting, where it's I think as a society, we've become your urgency is my emergency in everything 100%. From responding to text to pickups. If I don't get my kids at 3:30, it's there's a fire in my ass and I'm driving like I'm a maniac, which why?
I know, no. Because you know that there are those parents that are always late, and you see those kids standing there and they're just so used to it.
I mean, it's like this is life. Everything isn't instant gratification. And we know as a fact that this is happening.
Mhm.
And we see it in learning. And we see it in kids who are I think all of them universally expect things to come
Mhm.
immediately, including everything they don't understand.
Mhm.
Like, I want to get there now. I want to watch this now. I want to buy this now. I can't, there's no patience. So I think that if we as collectively as parents, we can just say, you're very smart and you have more technology than Apple right now. You could figure out, what could you do to figure this out? Because
Mhm.
I mean, it is.
That's crazy. I also I really feel like there should be more classes that you take at school that teach you how to use technology more. Like, if this is the future, knowing how to use
The problem is, though, it just started to come in this hot and heavy. So like Chloe uses it, but I mean, ChatGPT just came in when our kids were in high school. Like
so they can't change the curriculum
well,
now.
the kids were using it before the teachers even knew about it. And then it was like a wave of pardon. And then we were like, someone's like, ChatGPT, like, what? And all the kids were like, oh shit. And then Snap AI they've been using. So I mean, the kids have been on it.
It is crazy to watch. I watched your daughter on Google, where you make slideshows.
Yeah.
And
which one, the little one?
Yeah, just her on the computer. And then I'm watching my youngest on the computer compared. And I'm not talking about using it for communicating, but for school, how much
more versed she is.
Yeah,
confident.
and also my youngest, how he can maneuver through the computer is amazing. But I know, yeah, you're right. It's too bad. It's just I feel like some
schools are embracing it and teaching the kids how to use it and be like, it's a great tool. Use it, but use it for ideas rather than for writing your whole thing.
That's what I was trying to explain to TJ yesterday. He's like, if I can just put it in here, he's at that how would they know? And all of that. Oh, and then he went on. He goes, how will they know? And then I said, well, if you don't learn anything, then you won't you won't learn how to do things in life. And then he's like, but I'll just put in I'll get ChatGPT to just make my resume, and then I said, well, what about when you end up going to work? I'll work from home. He's had all the answers. He was cracking me up.
So also, if you're learning alongside, I think that ChatGPT, the dance schedule. Mm-hmm. Right? Putting it in and getting our full dance schedule. Mm-hmm. When I can't believe no other adults had thought of that. Well, I'm sure others have, but when we posted, everyone's like, holy fuck, I didn't think of this. And then we got our blood work back and wanted to reread it, put it into ChatGPT and put it in basic forms. And then it basically gives you pictures and things and tells you what is good and what's bad.
You can literally say, explain it to me like I'm in grade 2.
And it does. Mm-hmm. And so I think that when it's our job as parents to get into the digital world, that's what I'm trying to say, is to teach them, hey, you have a problem. What are you going to do to fix it? And how can I help you? Because I think that the emergency, or your urgency is not my emergency, is a massive problem. It's such a, I can't believe what they must feel living in I have to do it now. Oh, I have to do it now. I feel that.
And there's not a lot of time. The time goes by so fast. And if you lose time, you're losing, everything's just moving so fast in life. But the other thing, I understand that our kids that are graduating, our older kids, they being able to get teachers and programs in place for technology it's kind of too late to be able to get that,
because they have started for
you're
our basically second youngest.
Yeah,
the middle, the oldest boy.
I had a story about teachers. My second son, who's in 9th grade now, when he was in grade 3, he ended up having a teacher, and she was older. She was older than me. Now, I mean, if I had to guess her age, I would say she's probably 55. She was so pro technology, knowing that this was going to be the future. And she had to fight for the school to be able to give her screens and give her kids computers, and all of the schools were rejecting it, and the principals were basically saying, we can't support this. She took money out of her own to do it, and she taught. It was Teddy. Everything was on the computer, and my other kids didn't get that teacher, and I was so sad because he's so much better then all of them, I mean, they should have had time to catch up, and there should have been another teacher that did it. But I wonder if she's still teaching and if she knows how important what she was doing, and if everyone else kind of feels like, like, I don't mean to be rude, but like the other teacher was spending a shit ton of time on cursive writing.
But that's back.
I know, but I'm not there with them. I'm not there with cursive writing.
I think it's because it's a development of
the brain.
I get.
So
I
are
do,
they noticing
I do get
that
it.
older? Are they noticing that like there's a chunk of age because there was there's a small window where they didn't teach cursive, that those kids' brains aren't developed properly?
I would say I can only speak for Toronto, like our board. I can't speak for any other board because I don't know how big the board went with these mandates, because each board does a different mandate. But I will say that I know in my daughter's and son's early years, reading phonetically was not a thing. It was immerse yourself in reading. And I mean, that's where he was never going to get, his thing was never going to get picked up unless I picked it up on my own. Times tables was null and void. And cursive, like writing, was also just kind of like optional. I would say she has suffered massively from the math, like mental math, not having that been like a massive part of their curriculum. And I would say the reading and writing also massively impacted her. She had to catch up. I mean, I don't know if you remember how much she had to catch up in grade 6 for math and writing. She was in class of 7. Thankfully, it was COVID, so she got lucky. And they took even half of that class because there was so many of them missing the basics, where if they didn't go to that school,
they were not there for cursive.
I just think that the problem is it also it connects, it puts something in your brain that it cements it differently than just this. So like when you write, it goes into your brain differently than when you type.
So writing, but cursive?
I mean, I think cursive was loose. Like cursive was like, can you write? And I don't think we need to write essays, but I do think it's important to. It's faster than printing because you can kind of put them together, right? So I think it was just sort of like, can you make jot notes? Can you write shit down?
Every letter.
It's faster for me. I mean, I cursive and print. I think it's just important they know how to fucking write.
Yeah,
I mean, if they missed writing.
When my kid was learning how to use a computer, the other one was spending a lot of time on cursive.
Just can't we do both? Seems like the world goes so far one way or the other. Can't we just have happy mediums anymore?
Remember
when
they
said
go
fucking one way all in?
If you put because cursive kind of reminds me of art too. I like that they've added art to STEM. That's great.
You fucking STEM.
STEAM.
That was funny.
I know. What's the A for? And I don't know. I forgot. Oh, cursive. I don't know. It's funny. I ran into a kid that's in preschool. I was in her house, and the parents were showing me her cursive writing, and I was like, "This still is going on."
Yeah, I think I think writing. I think they need to learn to write. I do.
I think there's a difference between writing and cursive writing.
Cursive. What? There's something else. Another kind of writing.
It's called printing.
It's writing.
It's called printing.
So just a little bit of writing. Both is important. They can. How are you going to write your signature?
Print? Oh my gosh. It's so funny. My kids, they're like, whenever they do their signature, actually, I think I think some of mine have printing. Have you seen your kids' signatures?
Yeah.
Mark always says my signatures. He's like, that can't be your signature.
You're like, screw you.
I go like this.
Yeah,
right?
I know it.
By the way,
I've written it.
By the way, that's exactly what his is.
Oh, but it's just.
So you can read that it's MT. I'm like, no, I cannot.
No one can read anything.
Signatures
Have
are
you ever
art.
watched a doctor? They don't know how to write anything.
I know. Signatures are art.
Exactly, not
They could be pictures.
Exactly, not like. Anyway, so you hate writing and you hate.
No, not writing.
Cursive.
Cursive, I think, was a waste of time.
Same shit, different day.
But we spent a lot of time on cursive after printing, or we could have been doing something else.
So just printing.
It's writing. Just writing, like what you learn in JK, SK, grade 1,
printing,
grade 2.
Not writing.
Writing in cursive. You can write in print. Cursive is cursive.
No, writing is cursive. Same thing.
I wrote a book. I was writing a book.
Yeah, that's because
not cursive.
Back in the day, you would have written cursive. You would have written the pages.
So writing is cursive and printing is printing.
Yes.
So if I'm going to write a paragraph,
it's just like you're writing it out with your hand.
in printing or cursive.
Writing is just the word. It's like,
Yeah, that's what I mean, though.
It's like writing, but cursive is just the form that it looks like. If you print, you're still writing.
Yes, that's what I just said.
Yeah, but writing, cursive is writing.
Oh,
There's no other, writing isn't.
really?
No, writing isn't, there's not cursive and then writing and then printing.
Right, but you
Get
can,
what I'm
but
saying?
you could write at school, but it's not cursive.
But then you'd be printing
Go print a paragraph
with your hand slowly.
with your hand slowly.
Yes.
Homework today is print a paragraph slowly with your hand.
I
on
think
paper.
cursive is just meant to be a faster way of printing. That's why you write.
I looked at it as an art form.
No.
Mm.
Well, you know what? Let's take a look at Google, our good old producer Gelman.
Were you good at cursive?
No, I blended mostly. It's faster than printing.
I'm really good at cursive.
Of course she is.
It's really pretty, and way better at cursive
Is-
than printing.
What was the question? Is cursive faster than printing? Well, cursive,
I would think cursive is faster.
it's objectively faster than printing. The argument for cursive
Yeah, what
speed
is it?
is cursive letters are connected, so you don't have to lift your pen as frequently, potentially leading to a faster,
I know it's faster.
writing flow. Oh, some handwriting experts suggest cursive promotes automatic writing, which can also contribute to speed. So it's
Speed.
well, I think your brain connects it faster is what they're saying. Then when you have to print, you're thinking of each letter.
Mm.
Where cursive, you probably see the words as one word in your brain if you learn that way. Some studies show that manuscript printed writing. I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
What's
Printed.
Like, so really it also comes down to legibility.
Which one's more legible?
I guess it depends on your printing. Some people can find they can write faster in cursive than in print, but this is dependent on the individual and the style. Cursive can be less legible for some, which is a drawback. Ultimately, it's a preference, but most combine cursive and print, which I do. It's the fastest and most legible way to write. Double. So don't you do that? Summary A, so blah, 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 stop right. I do a combo.
I don't know.
We're going to do that. Do it in your head.
Oh, I print. On checks, I print.
No, like if you were to write a note to someone.
I don't remember. But I am better at cursive than printing.
That is so... You do both. I know because I can see the messages in the books in my brain.
Yeah, and I...
You do like two... they connect?
Yeah.
I think most do a combination. I don't know anyone who exclusively prints or anyone who exclusively writes.
Except for the kids.
I don't look at that.
Print.
Only print.
Yeah, like I can see your kids writing and it's print.
Your thing, because they didn't learn cursive.
Right, none of them.
Chloe's the only one.
Is it beautiful?
I'll have to take a look at it.
I have my sister-in-law can do the one with the ink.
Yeah, that's like...
What's that called again? Calligraphy.
Yeah, fucking calligraphy. Go screw yourself. That's art.
That's art.
Yeah, when you do calligraphy with the freaking pen, with the thing, and then...
The quill.
Personally, I don't like writing.
No.
Personally.
I actually think because I'm left-handed, it's harder for me.
Personally, my hand hurts at the end of
Me
writing.
too.
Now. If I'm,
Someone was just saying that recently. Like they were writing something down and their hand immediately hurt.
yeah, we used to write essays.
We used
and
to be like
pages.
this with our hands.
Yes, you'd write so much, you'd be like, and then you get a bump on your finger.
I know. You know what's weird is that like when we wrote all the time, we used one hand. Did the other hand like?
Props.
It's so uneven.
You know what?
Maybe that's why I have tennis elbow so bad on my left from all that writing.
You wrote like crazy. You know what's crazy is I was thinking recently that no, it's actually gone.
That's why you got to get it real fast.
No, it's gone. It's like gone. And actually, my friend who was here was saying her brain, she's like, I go to say something and it's just gone.
Gone.
Like that's a weird feeling. Gone. And my kids are like, get it out. I'm like,
I know.
I'm really trying to get it out, but it's not coming.
I know. They get so frustrated. And everyone says people our age, that's what happens. And then they watch someone else do it, like a friend do it, and they're like, thank God.
Are our brains declining?
That's what happens, right?
I don't know.
I think everything declines.
Like, do kids just like the words are just fresh plump in their brain? I think of that. Like just plump, like plump out, plump out, plump out.
I noticed recently that I have a kid that is like sometimes he mumbles. And I'm like, I can't hear you when you
Sometimes
slur.
I have one who I mean, that's what they do, boys. 13-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's with,
Well, I'm like, what is this? What are you doing? I can't hear a word you're saying.
you know what's so interesting is Nat and I have been, as you know, doing the Screen Sense Guide, and we've been doing a lot of research on it and all the problems that come when your kids are on phones too much. And part of it is what? No, I'm going to actually call one out. But
oh my God, I thought your brain went blank.
No, I just want to say it carefully because when they're on their phone too much and in the thing of writing and you see their grammar or the way they talk or the words they use because everything is auto figured out for them. Like they can just hit a thing and you realize they haven't actually had to write or say things. It's kind
like
of
THO?
That's kind of why cursive is, or like KK, or my dad says that now. My dad is 81 and he says KK.
I don't know how he learned that because when I would write K,
you have to say KK.
Because the kids that's rude. I'm like, rude to have one K? Okay.
You have to have two Ks. So
I can't believe your dad knows that.
I know, but I was going to say is that when they don't know how to write, that's why it's kind of good for them whether they print or write. I don't care. But when we saw one write and we saw a response of writing, we were like, sorry, did they think that that is actually how, like, that the phone breakdown, how they speak on the phone is actually how
like language? I know.
Because the phone lets you do it.
Yeah, that's what.
Stop it, phone. Put in proper language so at least they learn. Help us.
So if they put THO, it would go to THOUGH.
This is wrong. And then they'd have to spell it right. Can you help us? At least you're giving
us in messaging and stuff like that.
Yes. You're telling us, you're giving us all the bad addictive things, making it so easy for them. No. Go in there and be like, sorry, you spelled it wrong. Try again.
Oh, that would be great.
They'd get so annoyed by that. And they'd have to learn how to do it properly.
I know.
We should build that software. That you get to put on your kid's phone and they have to spell it correctly or they have to do it again.
Oh my gosh.
Like, try this spelling. Pick which spelling it is.
I bet a lot of them probably don't know how to actually, like young ones, how to spell by the way.
Oh, and actually, when they pick up the phone and don't know say how to hello. Hello? Nothing. Just, what? No, try again. Pick up the phone and say, hi. Like, hi.
Yeah.
We used to be like, hi, Natalie speaking. Now they don't even know how to say goodbye. They just hang up the phone up. Or when they're on FaceTime and they don't talk. I'm like, what are you doing? And by the way, parents, your children film you while you're screaming. And everybody gets the messages. So be aware that you are definitely being audio recorded, and sent around.
That's kind of scary.
Parents don't know.
No.
I mean, kind of idiots for not knowing.
I mean, you'd probably be like to your kid, like, you asshole, you're invading my privacy.
It's, you know what? They are also on FaceTime in a pocket and they're just walking around the kitchen.
I know.
And you can hear everybody's phone calls.
I just have to make sure. I've got to, like, because I think we've told you guys this before, but a mom on our hockey team told me that this morning she had overheard like all of my boys getting into a fight. And it's because they were still on her son's phone in his pocket. Watch out and tell your kids, hang up the phone.
Also, they walk in, they don't realize that if you're in the bathroom and they walk, or like it's the middle of the day and you're changing or in the bathroom and they walk in like it's no big deal. They don't realize, they're not naked, but you are on FaceTime.
I can't believe they don't think like that doesn't happen more often. Like when I'm with you on FaceTime, like I could easily just like put the phone down and like start changing or something like that. And if I'm on the wrong angle, you're going to be watching me change.
I'm pretty sure I have,
but it's not you, but like somebody. Like I'm on the toilet. Like if I get a FaceTime on the toilet, I'm going to answer it probably.
Really?
Yeah.
With someone.
Well, the only people I really FaCetime is like you and my mom.
I knew you'd have kids in the car today, so I'm like, I'm not picking up on the toilet. Like that would be a boundary. Like TJ does not need to, even though I go to the bathroom with the door open. Most of your kids, I know that's a boundary, but most of them have seen me in the toilet. I just don't think to close the door.
It's a very natural
and
thing.
I'll be like, Tucker, I'm on the toilet. Don't walk by.
Okay. Oh, he doesn't give a shit.
He's like, okay, cat. He's like, okay, I'll wait here. I'm like, thanks, Tucker. We're probably gonna get mess.
Oh God, no. I mean, it's a natural thing, and there didn't used to be doors on toilets.
Yeah, that's why they go behind trees.
Yeah.
Anyways, you guys weigh in on any of these conversations. And if you think that this app idea of making kids spell properly is a good idea, let us know. Because when we saw the actual essay writing and saw the words, we thought, oh my.
Every time I read something that my kids write, I'm like,
oh, yeah.
is that how you thought that word was spelled?
You've also seen my youngest?
What?
We'll sign off like Slay Queen. Yeah. You seen?
Yes.
Last year, I mean, she was grade 3, but we had to teach her that, like, you can't talk like, OMG, Slay Queen. That was like a story.
Oh, so good.
You remember that?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
They really think it's normal.
Yes, she signs off Slay Queen. I am a Slay Queen. So I was walking and I was like, hey, Slay Queen. I was like, oh my God. Like, it was like she was writing like she was chatting to her girlfriends. Mm-hmm. Like we were at a dance competition. And the teacher's like, so we can't write like we're actually talking.
Well, it's also tricky because she reads a book where they talk like that.
I've got a lot of books that are not appropriate.
Slay Queen Slay.
Slay Queen Slay.